In an increasingly interconnected world, the relationship between the United States and China has become a crucial factor in shaping the global order. As tensions continue to rise, questions arise about the potential for a military conflict between these two superpowers. Today we explores the possibility of a war between the US and China, with a particular focus on the Taiwan issue and the concept of the Thucydides trap. The Taiwan problem. One of the significant flashpoints in US-China relations is the long-standing issue of Taiwan. China considers Taiwan an integral part of its territory, while the US maintains unofficial relations with the island and provides it with military support. The potential for a conflict arises from the delicate balance between China's desire for reunification and Taiwan's pursuit of independence. If Taiwan were to declare formal independence or if China were to resort to military force to bring the island under its control, a direct confrontation between the US and China could become likely. The Thucydides trap. The Thucydides trap, a concept derived from ancient Greek historian Thucydides, suggests that when a rising power, China, challenges an existing dominant power, the US, conflict becomes probable. Historically, such power shifts have often led to war as the rising power seeks to assert itself, while the dominant power seeks to maintain its position. The rising economic and military capabilities of China, combined with its regional ambitions, have sparked concerns about a potential clash with the US, creating a scenario reminiscent of the Thucydides trap. Geopolitical rivalry. Beyond the Taiwan issue, the US-China relationship is characterized by broader geopolitical rivalry. Both countries seek to exert influence over key regions, such as the Asia-Pacific and the South China Sea. China's assertive actions, such as its militarization of disputed islands and its Belt and Road Initiative, have raised alarms in the US. In response, the US has increased its military presence in the region and formed alliances with countries that have territorial disputes with China. These competing interests and the resulting power projection increase the risk of an accidental confrontation that could escalate into a full-scale war. Economic interdependence. While geopolitical tensions are high, the economic interdependence between the US and China adds a complex dimension to the possibility of a war. Both countries rely on each other for trade and investment, with intertwined global supply chains. A military conflict would disrupt these economic ties, leading to severe consequences for both nations and the world economy. This mutual economic reliance acts as a deterrent, as the cost of a war outweighs the potential gains for both sides. Nuclear deterrence. Another critical factor that lowers the likelihood of a war between the US and China is the presence of nuclear weapons. Both countries possess significant nuclear arsenals, which act as a powerful deterrent against large-scale military aggression. The devastating consequences of a nuclear conflict make the option of war less appealing and increase the incentive for both nations to pursue diplomatic solutions and avoid direct military confrontation. Diplomatic engagement. Recognizing the risks of a war between the US and China, efforts are underway to foster diplomatic engagement and reduce tensions. Dialogue channels and mechanisms for crisis management exist between the two countries, providing avenues to address disputes and prevent escalations. Multilateral forums, such as the United Nations and regional organizations, also play a role in facilitating communication and peaceful resolutions. The emphasis on diplomacy underscores the recognition that war between the US and China would have catastrophic consequences for the entire world. Conclusion. While tensions between the United States and China are high, the outbreak of a war between these two global powers remains a scenario that both sides actively seek to avoid. The Taiwan problem and the concept of the Thucydides trap contribute to the overall risk. But factors such as economic interdependence, nuclear deterrence, and diplomatic engagement act as crucial deterrents, making a large-scale military conflict less likely. The economic interdependence between the US and China underscores the mutual interests in maintaining stable trade relations, while the presence of nuclear weapons creates a significant barrier to outright warfare. Moreover, diplomatic channels and crisis management mechanisms provide avenues for dialogue and negotiation, enabling both countries to address their disputes and find peaceful resolutions. The recognition of the catastrophic consequences of a war between the US and China further reinforces the commitment to diplomatic solutions. Nevertheless, the complexity of the US-China relationship and the evolving dynamics in the Asia-Pacific region require constant vigilance. Both countries must continue to engage in dialogue, foster mutual understanding, and manage their differences to prevent unintended escalations. The international community also has a crucial role to play in promoting peace and stability between the US and China. Encouraging multilateral forums and diplomatic initiatives can provide platforms for dialogue, cooperation, and conflict resolution. In conclusion, While the possibility of a war between the US and China, fueled by the Taiwan problem and the Thucydides trap, cannot be completely dismissed. It is in the interest of both nations to pursue peaceful means to address their differences. The stakes are high, not only for the US and China but for the entire world. The maintenance of peace, stability, and constructive engagement between these two global powers is vital for a prosperous and secure future. Thanks for watching.